Okay, so we're back for part 2. So, we left off with NXT, which...
Nothing much happened.
Alright.
At the end of it, fucking Heath Slater lost to Seth Rollins.
Who gives a shit?
The rest of Milton Bradley wasn't with him.
Oh, well.
It was kind of just him and Vicky Guerrero for some reason.
Yeah, are they
Wasn't
even...
explained. Wasn't
No?
explained.
Well, that's... Good job, WWE. We're rooting for you.
So there you go.
Alright, then.
Alright, that brings us to the WWE main event.
Main event.
Just quickly becoming their newest and hottest TV show.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, Miz,
Mm-hmm.
color commentator for this episode.
Yeah, I read somewhere that he actually is supposed to be the color commentator for the show.
He is. From time to time.
Yeah.
There's been 3 episodes, and I think he's color commentated on 2 of them. JBL did the other one.
Well, JBL should be doing it all the time, but...
So, I don't know why you have a current talent on the color commentator table.
Because he's entertaining. Plain and simple. I mean, you've lost JR. Or not JR, sorry, Lawler.
Mm-hmm.
And who else are you going to get? I mean, I assume they originally when they were playing, it must have been Lawler.
Must have been.
Because they've got, obviously they're literally doing guest hosts, so it must have been Lawler they were planning.
Yeah. Well, maybe they wanted to count on JBL, but JBL's a busy guy.
Yeah, true.
So basically, all WWE main event was. I mean, there was a Sin Cara Del Rio match at the end.
Okay.
Didn't really amount to much other than there's going to be a 6-man tag next week with the Primetime Players and Del Rio versus Randy Orton and Sin Cara Mysterio.
Meh. Whatever.
The bulk of the show was centered around Ryback.
They're really pumping this
They
guy
showed a
down
promo
everyone's throats.
package for him. He had a match with Dolph Ziggler, and they had Dolph Ziggler look terrified.
Really? They had him do that?
Like, Dolph Ziggler came to the ring. He was as pale as a ghost. He didn't want to be there.
But isn't his character like he won't back down kind of thing?
No, his character said he's a show off. And look at me, I'm stealing the show. Yeah.
So it's against his character to be afraid of somebody.
No, he's a show off, but he's not Mr. I'm not afraid of anybody. He's a show off, but then when he sees something like Ryback,
yeah, I guess
he's gonna be like, that guy's gonna eat me.
I understand why they did that, but it just seems.
It's to push Ryback more.
All right.
In fact, there was a point of the match where, before commercial break, Dolph Ziggler ran out, did the typical heel thing, ran to the back, Ryback chased him. When we came back from commercial, Ryback carried Dolph Ziggler to the ring to his theme music. They literally played Ryback's theme music again, and Fireman carried Dolph Ziggler down the ramp and threw him back in the ring.
They played his entrance music again?
Mm-hmm.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Hey, man, I've never seen it.
All right.
So, yeah, basically it was Ryback's... And it was, to be fair, I know it's not saying much, the best Ryback match I've ever seen.
Okay.
Where he actually showed more than 5 moves.
That's impressive. John Cena can't do that.
There was a move where he picked Dolph Ziggler up, and literally swung him into the barricade.
That's kind of cool.
So, and there was one where he picked him up and literally pitched him halfway across the ring into the turnbuckle. Now, I don't know if this is Ryback doing new moves, or the fact that Dolph Ziggler is notorious for taking crazy bumps. Because Dolph Ziggler's starting to get a reputation of, I want you to do this to me, and I'm going to bump like crazy. Do this crazy bump. Dangerous bump.
Well, it could be that, and also it's got to... I mean, it's not necessarily showing that Ryback can do more moves. It's also showing... It's obviously just showing his power.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I mean, from what you're telling me, this whole show was just to promote him, to show people... Like,
this was the Ryback show.
Yeah. So it's just to show, like, look, he can be a title contender, and, go with that.
Now, they did have a bit with Paul Heyman.
Okay.
Where it was Paul Heyman briefly explaining that CM Punk's the best in the world, and CM Punk won't back down to Ryback, and unlike Dolph Ziggler, he's not a man that can be intimidated that easy.
Yeah.
Basically selling CM Punk as, I'm not going to, he's going to beat Ryback, that's it.
Yeah.
And then we're all going to forget about Ryback, and we're going to go back to recognizing CM Punk as the best in the world. So that was a main event.
Yeah, nothing special.
Nothing special. I mean, so it's Thursday, so we won't get SmackDown report till next week.
Yeah,
and Impact's tonight, and we don't talk about that.
No, because that's just pointless.
So we're gonna spend, I guess, the majority, if not all, of this part of the episode, dedicating it to the big pay-per-view this Sunday, Hell in a Cell, emanating from the Phillips Arena in Atlanta, GA.
How the hell did you remember that? You wrote that down, didn't you?
No.
Wow, nicely done. I wouldn't have remembered that.
Well, I know where the Atlanta Hawks play.
Fair enough.
So,
Fair enough.
There you go.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So, right as of this recording, there are only 5 matches.
Yes.
And on the pre-show at 7:30,
yeah,
they are going to have John Cena address the crowd about the AJ situation.
Oh, Jesus.
He's going to take questions.
Do we care?
No. That's why we're not going to watch the pre-show.
No, we're really not. We might be playing WWE 13 at that point.
Shh! Doesn't come out till Tuesday, man.
You're right.
We're not going to be playing WWE 13. I was almost going to say WWE. WWE 13, that works.
Yeah, I'd rather play that.
Hey, man, we should call the show WWE.
We already called it something else, so we'll go with that.
Not this episode. I mean, the show is general.
WWE?
Yeah.
We could do that.
Might work.
All right. We may have a new name.
We'll
work on it, yeah.
So anyways, let's start
Mm-hmm.
with Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio.
The biggest I don't give a shit match on the card.
By the looks of it, yes.
Yeah.
Basically, this whole match centers around the fact that Alberto Del Rio wants to be the new Apex Predator.
Okay.
It sounds so much better when he says it, because it sounds like Antonio Banderas.
And I listen to Antonio Banderas.
And nothing's wrong with the soothing dulcet tones of Mr. Antonio Banderas.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, that's literally the match. Alberto Del Rio wants to be the Apex Predator of WWE, and he wants to beat Randy Orton because he doesn't like him.
Randy Orton was the Legend Killer, so it kind of makes sense. But nobody's going to remember that because he hasn't really been the Legend Killer in quite some time.
Yeah, so that match is happening because I guess they want an excuse to put Orton on the pay-per-view.
Fair enough.
So,
whatever. I haven't given a rat's ass about Randy Orton in a very long time, and I don't think anyone else has either, so I don't think it's going to make a difference.
He's got some badass shirts, man.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of them. It's unfortunate that they give one of the stalest wrestlers in the company the most badass shirts.
Well, they have to give him something. He's not giving them anything.
He might look good coming to the ring in that badass shirt, but when he gets in there, it's a lot of rest holds and a couple drop kicks.
Yeah, it's nothing.
An RKO.
Yeah.
And that's about
it's nothing.
it.
Everything he used to have, he doesn't have anymore. And as far as Alberto
He used
Del
to
Rio,
have something?
Well, he used to be somewhat entertaining. I used to like him. Or maybe I liked him when he first came in and then just got sick of his shit.
Oh, you mean 04 when he won at SummerSlam around that time?
Yeah, like when I actually watched the show.
When he broke off from Evolution? Yeah, I guess that was the best Randy Orton. I kind of liked him when he first came in. Like, when he first came in and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then he had the Randy News Network
updates,
yeah. Where he's like, my arm's 50%, and then he tweaked a little bit, 49%. That was kind of cool.
That was good, yeah.
So, yeah, but that was like a long time ago.
That was a very long time ago.
In a galaxy very far away.
Oh,
so,
Jesus. Yeah.
Let's move on. Or were you going to say something about
Alberto Del Rio?
ADR?
Nothing against him, nothing for him. He's very bland.
He's kind of just there.
He's vanilla right now.
He's got a really cool entrance.
He does. I like the entrance.
Personal ring announcer.
You know, he showed promise when I saw him at, WrestleMania? No, before that. Before that.
Yeah, was it before?
It might have been.
Okay.
Might have been last year's WrestleMania, the one before that where Edge actually wrestled. Or no, that was this past. That was this past. Because he retired right after WrestleMania.
No, that was last year.
Was it?
That was the one where Miz beat John Cena in the main event?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought Del Rio was good, but he's very vanilla. He's not good, not bad, he's just there.
He's just there.
Yeah.
So, that brings us to probably, actually, I would say the best feud going right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Kofi Kingston Miz feud.
Yeah,
kind of referenced in our Raw, where the Miz was out for Kofi Kingston's match against Michael McGillicuddy.
Right.
Of course, Kofi wasn't out there for the Ryback match because it was like 2 seconds long.
Mm-hmm.
But
didn't have time to get out there.
Yeah. So they've had 2 solid matches.
Yeah.
And I'm sure an abundance of good matches on house shows.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I mean, I don't really care about the Intercontinental title.
No, nobody does. It hasn't meant anything.
It hasn't meant anything in a while.
Not since,
it's cool that it's the old school white one.
That's always, like you told me that. I'm all for that. I don't think the Intercontinental title has meant anything
Cody
since
Rhodes
the 90s. Well, that's good. See, I'm all for that.
But the match itself is going to be a solid match.
Yes.
It's going to be...
Miz can work, Kofi Kingston can
probably
work.
going to be the best wrestling match on the show.
It probably will be.
So... take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to really say. Wow, it's not going to take long to go through this shit.
Well, no, I mean, when we get to the bigger matches, it'll probably...
Yeah, that's true. No, I mean, it's going to be a good match. You're right. It's going to be the best wrestling match we get on the card. It's going to be the most entertaining match. It'll probably have a lot of near falls, a lot of 2 counts. You know, it'll just be fun. It'll be a good, solid match. And Kofi Kingston he's the high flyer.
He's getting pushed.
Yeah, well, that's good. See, that's the thing. Like, who's the champion?
What do you mean? Oh, Kofi Kingston is going in as champion.
Okay.
He beat The Miz on the main event last week.
Right. Now, do we want to give predictions on who we think are going to win, or do we give a shit?
Well, I guess we could. It will elongate the episode.
Yeah, that's true.
First match, I'm guessing, if I had to pick gun to my head, Alberto Del Rio, I guess. I would hope. Because I like him more. So
I would say I don't want him to win, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Orton just because he needs a push.
Right.
So I'm going to say, yeah.
So and then for the Intercontinental title match, like I said, I don't know if I've stated on the show, but I'm a big Miz fan.
Yeah.
I know there's not a lot of them about. There should be more. He's a lot better than people give him credit for.
Well, I mean, he literally has like the whole like the real world thing.
Yeah, you really know what? That stains his reputation.
Does. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I think he's.
But you
I think
need
he's
to
really
respect him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You should
imagine he literally was. He started off as a snot-nosed 20-year-old punk from the fucking real world.
Yeah.
And he worked and he worked and he worked.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, you don't pay your dues by doing matches after matches after match.
No.
You do it by going on the road and promoting. Mm-hmm. And in the last 5 years, I think he's probably promoted the company the most.
Yeah.
Whether it be at video game things or pay-per-view events or any kind of rallies that they do. The Miz is usually always there.
No, I agree with you. I think he's good and he doesn't get enough credit. You're absolutely right on that. However, I have to disagree. I don't think he's going to win.
No, well, that's my point. I'm getting to that. I don't think he is either. I wanted to reference, and I am a big Miz fan, but he is not going to win because they're really trying to push Kofi Kingston as because they need a face. They need a badly. They need a face that the kids like, that the fans can connect with, and he seems to be a fan favorite.
He's very fan favorite. He's family friendly. He's got everything.
He's
you
clean,
need.
cut.
Very clean cut. Everything.
He doesn't, he doesn't have any kind of attitude.
No.
Problems backstage or in the ring.
Well, at least not that we've heard, and usually we hear about this all the time.
We would hear from the sheets.
Love the internet.
There you go.
So yeah, no, I gotta say I gotta say Kofi Kingston is just gonna retain.
He's gonna retain.
Yeah, he has to. I mean, there's no. In all fairness, there's no reason to put on the Miz.
No.
That's why I say it. There's just no reason to put it on.
Especially since that he just lost it, so why?
Yeah,
why have Kofi lose it out right away?
Yeah.
And be like one of the quickest transitional champions like ever.
Yeah.
So, getting to the tag team titles. Team Hell No, which I still want to call them Team Friendship. Because there was a vote. That's how they got their name.
Really?
It was a vote. It was either between Team Hell No, Team Teamwork, or Team Friendship. I really like Team Friendship.
How did Team Friendship not win?
It was an audience vote.
How did they not pick Team Friendship?
Because it has hell in it, and kids are like, ha ha ha, that's clever.
You know what, WWE fans, you failed me again.
WWE Universe, sir. You're going to refuse to call
I'm literally doing my best to learn to say WWE. I'm not calling it Universe. Alright?
Yes.
I have to draw the line somewhere.
Okay.
Alright.
So, Team Friendship.
Yes.
Versus Team Rhodes Scholars. Probably my favorite tag team in the company right now.
Right.
Because I'm a big supporter of Damien Sandow. This guy needs more work.
By you saying that, I'm going to go with Team Friendship.
Really?
I have to. I mean, you're right. He needs more work. Problem is, are they really going to give it to them?
I mean, they're coming from the school of, well, Team Hell No's set to implode at any moment because anytime they're on screen, they're at each other's throats.
Right.
You know? Bickering like an old married couple.
Well, now that you say that, there is a chance then, because that could create for quote-unquote interesting TV.
Yeah.
To have them be champions and bickering it all the time. That could work. However, Team Friendship, I gotta assume, is getting a huge pop.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
well, as huge a pop as they can get.
I mean, their big catchphrase is, I am the tag team champions. They yell at each other. I'm the tag team champions. No, I am the tag team champions.
See, that's actually good.
It's on a t-shirt. It's on a t-shirt.
Of course it is, and I would wear that if it wasn't wrestling related. But no, I mean that is enough to give them enough to retain the title. I think I don't really see much of a reason for Rhodes Scholars to really win.
No. Well, yeah. I think it will be a solid match. I mean, Daniel Bryan is a solid worker.
Yeah, he's great.
Cody Rhodes, solid worker. Damien Sandow is very good.
And Kane
And well, no, Kane. Okay, well, Kane's not obviously like these three because these three are conventional wrestlers.
Yeah, but he's